Alright, in this video we're going to show you how to replace the front brake pads on a 1995 Toyota Corolla. So pretty standard procedure in terms of just replacing the fronts. These ones aren't too worn out, but they're squeaking like something crazy, so we're going to sort that out. So first thing you're going to want to do is jack the car up. Make sure you don't really need a low jack to do this. The one out of the boot will do it, but we got this decent jack laying around, so jack it up and yeah. Alright, so next step, when it's jacked up and it's all safe, take the wheels off. This thing's got a set of aftermarket wheels on it, so you're going to need the lock nut key to get it off, but it's a 19mm socket. We've got a rattle gun, makes life easy. Could use a breaker bar, but yeah, 19mm, pretty simple procedure. Put them somewhere where you're not going to lose them, so maybe when you use your tie to sit on it, makes life easy. Now that the brake caliper is exposed, we can get to work. Alright, now that you got the wheel off, it's a pretty simple procedure. It's two 12mm bolts holding the caliper on. It's very easy design to just take the top one and bottom one off. When you do that, you should be able to pull the half of the caliper off to replace the brake pads. Alright, now that you got the two bolts out, put them somewhere you're not going to lose them, and it should just be a procedure of pulling this off. Pretty simple. And then once you get that off, you should be able to inspect the brake pads that are in there. They're being held in there by two little clips, which just make sure they wear evenly. You know, you can hang the brake caliper up with a freaking zip tie or whatever, but it's pretty decent there. These lines aren't that old on it anyway, so they're not going to just split for no reason. And yeah, that's pretty much as simple as it is getting it. Alright, so you got the old brake pad on the right, new one on the left. The old one wasn't a bad brand, it was Bendix or whatever, so it's not too bad. But you can see it doesn't have that much meat missing, but there's a few chips off it here and there, a lot of dust. And yeah, so always good to replace them when they start making funny noises and whatnot. Alright, just another thing, you want to check for scoring on the rotor and whatnot. I mean, there's a few hot spots here and there, but it's still definitely within the limit, so we're all good there. Alright, now that you've got it all apart and ready to put the new brake pads on, you'll probably find that because the new brake pads have a decent amount more meat on it, you'll have to allocate some room by compressing the brake caliper. Now there's a few ways to do it. The way we normally do it is we use this G-clamp and just compress it like that with the rattle gun in a low setting. I mean, you know, there's a lot of different ways you can do it, but this is the fastest way we're going to do it, and it works pretty effectively. You just want to have something between the piston of the caliper and the G-clamp, so you're not just drilling into it and cause some damage, but it's pretty straightforward. Simple as that. And then now that the caliper's compressed, just the same way you took them out, put the new brake pads in. Pretty straightforward on it. And then when you've got the rear one in, make sure to put those two pins back in to make sure you've got that even wear happening on it all. And now just simple procedure of putting that brake caliper back on top, You can't really screw this up because 2 bolts, they have to line up, and that's pretty much it. Also, just a couple of like little tips: do not step on the brake when the caliper is off the rotor, just because you do that you're going to have to bleed the brake system, and it's just a whole nother job you don't want to do if you can avoid it. Alright, now that you've tightened up the 2 bolts, it's just chuck that wheel back on and tighten it up, and then you're good as gold to go for a test drive and make sure it all works. She's on there nice and tight.